Welcome back, students. So this is the fifth lecture on current electricity. So far already we covered the basics of current, drift velocity, then we have learned about combination of resistances, right? Then we have learned Kirchhoff's law. So in this lecture we will be learning about cell and the combination of the cells, okay? So today's topics, cell and their combination, okay? We will talk about cell or you say battery also. There is no much difference between cell and battery. Battery is combination of cell, that's all, okay. So we are learning cell, okay. So look here, few terms we have to define here that which are related with cell. Cell is just source of energy only. It simply convert the chemical energy into what? Electrical energy, right? No? You know this one. What is cell? If you want to write, convert chemical energy into electrical. You know this, right? Okay, energy. Yes. So three things are related with the cell. So these are called like EMF, terminal potential, and what? Internal resistance. Let's define them one by one. Okay. So first I define what is the EMF. We call it electromotive force. EMF actually is a potential, okay, voltage. They are writing this EMF, electromotive force, okay. First I am telling how they defines, then I will tell you in simple language. What is this? This is a potential difference across your terminals of your cell, of a cell, when no current is withdrawn from that cell. Means we are not drawing any current, we are not connected to that cell to any resistance or some appliance, just we have a cell. Then what is the potential difference across the terminal? That's called what? EMF. So I am writing few words here. Potential difference across the terminal of a cell when no current is drawn from cell. You are not drawing any current from the cell, then the potential across the terminal of this, you know that how you represent a battery cell like this way. These are the terminals and you represent what? Something called internal resistance R, right? So this is called a cell, right? Cell has two part. What two part? Symbolic. One is what? EMF, we show by these two plates, cathode and anode, and we show what? Internal resistance, right? Yes. So what is EMF actually? Electromotive force. The potential difference, just EMF only, potential only. Potential difference across the terminal of a cell when no current is what? Drawn from the cell. Like this way, you have just a battery with you, we have cell with you. Then what is the potential difference across the terminal here and here? What is the answer? That's called what? That potential is called what? EMF, okay. So when you are no current is drawn, you can also call this like simply open circuit potential. So EMF, we can give some other name. What name? Like open circuit potential. This is also called what? Open circuit potential, because when no current is drawing is called open circuit. So whatever potential getting across the terminal, that's called what? EMF, right? Yes. Also you can also call some other name like is the maximum potential available from a battery. Yes, EMF is what? Maximum potential that's available from a cell, that's called what? EMF of that cell, right? Also you call it rating of cell. Actually, suppose you buy a battery from market, then something is written on battery like this, a 2 volt battery, 2.5 volt battery, 1.5 volt battery, something is written. That is called the EMF of the battery. When you buy brand new, what are the maximum potential you can get? That's starting, that's what your EMF only, right? So EMF is actually rating of the cell, keep in mind. Rating means is written on the cell, that what is the maximum potential you can get from the cell is this much. Suppose you talk the mobile batteries, they have around 3.5 volt right now. So 3.5 volt is what? The EMF of that cell or battery, right now. Yes. So it's a maximum potential available, also called rating of the cell. This will not change with what time? EMF will not change with what time? What will change? That's called, next definition is called terminal potential. So remember that this EMF does not change with what time? You buy a cell and on the cell is written like this 2-volt cell. So the EMF of the cell will always remains what 2-volt only, right? Yes. What will change? That's called another definition. We'll talk here. So for understanding, I'm saying this does not change with what time, right? Does not change for the given cell, right? It remains fixed. Okay. Now what happens? The other term is called terminal potential. This we represent by capital E symbol. Yes, this we represent by capital V symbol, right? So what is terminal potential? This is also potential only. It's a potential when no current is flowing. This is a potential when current is drawn from the circuit. So what is this? Let's write definition of this. Potential difference across the terminal of a cell when current is drawn from the cell. When your cell is working, you are drawing current from the cell, then how much potential really getting outside, okay, across the terminal of that battery, that's called what your terminal potential, right? So like here, this you call open circuit potential, so this you can call what? Closed circuit potential, right? Yes, when circuit is closed, current is flowing, okay, right? Listen carefully. So EMF will never change, but this terminal potential that really we get when we are drawing the current, this will change, decrease with what time? Because what happens with time when you are consuming current or power from the battery, this internal resistance will keep increasing, right now. So with time what happens? With time, terminal potential will decrease. If you are drawing current from a circuit, you can charge also, I will talk both way. So it will change, simple meaning. So listen carefully. If there are small questions to you like this, EMF depends on what, okay, and then internal resistance, third term also I'll define. First let's talk here. This EMF depends upon what and does not depends upon what. So I'm writing first, it depends upon what things, if they ask you, okay. So EMF of a cell or battery depends on what? Depends only two things. What chemical we are using there, that's called electrolyte, and the electrodes, means this your terminals, right? They are made up of what material, what metal, right? So depends on two things. What? One, electrolyte, what chemical you are using there, right, in the battery, and what? Electrode metal, okay, they made from which metal, depends on them. So depends on these two things. Then EMF does not depends on what? Does not depend. What things does this your EMF will not depend? So like this, area of the plates, area of electrode you say, correct, your resistance, external resistance we don't write, so I am writing external resistance. So these are the few points when which it does not depends, right? Okay. Now one more term I have to define, that's called internal resistance. Then I will write charging and discharging of battery. So let me write internal resistance. I can write it here, hope you can see. Internal resistance, we write a small r symbol, right? This is internal resistance. So obviously this cell, it has electrolytes, right? It has some material that will also have some resistance. So the resistance offered to current by the material of the battery itself, cell itself, that's called what? Internal resistance. This is simply resistance due to what? Electrolyte of the cell. This is called what? Your, yes, okay. So the resistance due to what? Electrolyte of the cell is called what? Internal resistance, right now? Okay. Now talk here. We are interested in knowing that this terminal potential, okay ji, I said like it decreases with time. It's not always. This will happen when you are discharging a battery only. So we have two cases actually. Watch carefully. First I write here like discharge of cell, okay, discharge of a cell. Then how the circuit look? You have a cell and you are using this cell, means you are drawing the current from cell across your resistance or appliance. So look here, this is what your cell we representing like this is your cell. It has EMF E and internal resistance R. We are drawing current to some resistance. Let's say this is resistance, external resistance R, capital R. Okay, so some current is flowing in the circuit I. Correct. This is called discharge of the cell. We are drawing current from the battery, right now. Okay. Now we are interested that this potential across the terminal, means this potential is called what? Terminal potential. How much is that? We are interested in knowing that. Okay. Yes. So how you can know it easily? Look here. So look here. The total EMF of this battery is what? E. Correct. You can write Kirchhoff law also. That's even more simple here. But directly let's understand the total. Directly I am doing. So what is direct? Total EMF is E. Correct. And so let's calculate what is the current flowing the circuit. Current flowing circuit will be EMF is what? E, and total resistance, external resistance R, internal resistance small r, both are in series, one closed loop. So this is your current. Correct? Yes. Then what I am saying, the potential difference across the terminal will be what? EMF minus the drop here, right? That's potential difference across the terminal of the cell, right now. Yes. So this V, terminal potential nothing minus E minus what? Simply I into what? R. Total EMF of the battery minus the internal voltage drop here across the internal resistance, that's called IR, right? So this is a simple equation if you watch carefully, right? Now give attention, that's very important. You see that while discharge case, this V value is always what? Less than what? E. So while during discharge, when you are using your battery, it's called discharge, your V will be always less than what? E. Yes or no? Correct? Yes. Or if you apply some special condition, suppose open circuit, you call it what? Open circuit. Open circuit means what? No current flowing, I is 0. In this equation you put what? I as 0. Then you see that V is equal to what? E. Correct. So your terminal potential is maximum. Terminal potential maximum when it's open circuit. Because you see the open circuit is called, terminal potential is called what? EMF. So when circuit is drawing no current, that time the potential difference across the terminal is maximum is equal to what? EMF of the battery, right? Okay. Suppose you talk something called okay. Another way to understand open circuit means you say like current is 0, or open circuit means suppose there is infinite resistance here, very big resistance current, again no current flows, right now. So no current flows, infinite resistance, you make R, you make 0, again current becomes what? 0. So directly you can say like that way also, your choice. Okay. So you understood this important, and here now they ask and very important question to us, numerical. Okay. They ask question on this equation also, but another news is called, they ask to calculate the internal resistance. Okay. So what I do, one equation I have main equation, then this potential here, that V, this V also can write simply IR also, right? The voltage drop across this resistance, what? Current into that resistance. So what is voltage drop across this guy? V is what? IR. That's here or here, doesn't matter. Okay, same thing. So here you can put like, you can also write V is also equal to what? I into R. So what I am doing, instead of this I don't know I. So instead of I am putting what? This value V by what? R here. Instead of current I am putting what from here? V by R, and rearrange this. Then I will calculate internal resistance. Internal resistance of cell. This formula is very important, and this formula will come again when I teach you potentiometer tomorrow, means next lecture. Okay, so watch carefully. I am putting the value of current from here. Current is what? V by R. V by R. I rearrange, I take V terms on that side. So I am getting this answer. The internal resistance is what? Simply E by V minus 1 into R. Very important formula. This has been asked 2-3 times in exam already in our exam. Okay, and this same formula we'll use again in what? Potentiometer also. Okay, so what is the internal resistance of the cell? The EMF of the cell by terminal potential of the cell minus 1 into what the external resistance R. Hope you understanding that this is called internal resistance, then this is called what? External resistance, right? External resistance R, right? Okay, so this is very important. I'll give numerical example also once I finish these basics. Okay, let's see. So you came already here and you understood this is a very important formula, internal resistance of the cell in terms of what? EMF and the terminal potential. Okay, so this terminal potential I will say just potential word only always. Okay, I will not say full name like terminal potential. I'll say always potential. EMF is EMF. Okay. Okay, this was the discharge of the cell. What is the equation of discharge here, right? In this equation, you can another equation is what here, right? Internal resistance is what here. Okay. Now, suppose your battery got discharged, cell got discharged. You want to charge it. Okay. So I'm talking now charging of what? Cell. You want to do the opposite. Okay. How you charge a cell? It's very easy. Okay, how to make it discharge? You connect across a resistance, it's getting discharged. Okay, how to charge a cell? So what you do, you connect your cell with a high potential source. You connect with a potential source which has a potential higher than what? EMF of a cell. Like our mobile, when battery got discharged, what you do? We connect to what? Our wall charger, right now. Yes, the wall charger has what? Higher potential than our battery, the battery of or cell of our mobile, right now. So how to charge a cell? How to charge? To charge, okay, what you do? Connect cell to a high potential, I should write like this one, to a source which has potential or EMF whatever higher than EMF of the cell. You are connecting it to a source which has a potential even higher than the EMF of your cell. Then it will get what? Charge. So how you draw a circuit? Same look here. This is what your battery EMF internal resistance R. This is your battery, right? What you did, you connected to a high potential source. This is a high potential source. It has voltage of V, EMF V, right? Now current will flow what? In opposite direction, right? Current will flow like that way, so it gets charged. Here current flow like this way, right? Yes. So current goes into what? Like this way, positive, negative. So what is condition for charging here? What's the condition? That the potential, the external potential or source potential should be what? Always more than the EMF of the cell. When you are discharging, what happening? The terminal potential they are getting output is what? Less than EMF of the battery always. Here you are charging, then the external source, okay, is potential should be more than the EMF of the battery, then only you can get charge. How you write the equation? What is the minimum potential required? The minimum potential required to charge, right now? You want to charge the cell, what is the minimum potential required? So V should be equal to what? EMF of the battery plus the loss that happening here. So the V should be equal to what? E plus IR. So what is this equation and this equation? Right, here V is what? E minus IR, here V is what? E plus IR. Why plus IR? Because when you are charging this, you have to supply potential of the, EMF of the battery plus the loss that happening here, internal loss IR, that IR loss, okay? Yes, okay. So done, okay, done here. So this internal resistance question will be here and it's very important as I told you, okay? Yes, okay. So this is done about the basic of the cell definitions. What is EMF, what is the terminal potential, what is the internal resistance, then how to discharge the cell and how to charge the cell simply, correct? Okay. Now, suppose, now we'll talk about how to combine cells like resistances we have combined in series and parallel, right now. Exactly same way we have to combine the cells in also series and parallel, okay. So one by one we learn them. First we'll talk like here. Combination of cells in series. You have few cells and you want to connect them in series, then what happens? What's the current in the circuit? Okay, so you have some cells like this is one cell, similar cell we are talking. You can have dissimilar also. So dissimilar, I will give a special example at the end. So you have cell of EMF E, internal resistance R, this is one cell, right? So similar, you have another cell of E and R, right? So you have many cells. Let's say how many cells? N number of cells are connected in series back to back, right? And all these are connected to some external resistance. They are supplying current toward your external resistance. Current will flow like this one. This resistance we calling R, right? So n number of the cells connected in series and they are supplying current to some external resistance R. We are interested in knowing that what current will be flowing in this circuit. Okay, how much current it will flow, right? Okay, so to find current, let's solve this circuit. First find the like net resistance, net EMF, right? These things. So what is net EMF in series? So remember that in resistance we discussed that if you supply a battery connected to some resistance in series, then potential is divided among the all resistances. Exactly same here, potential we have EMFs, they connected in series, so total potential is what added. So net EMF is what? What will say? Total EMF of the cell of cells in series is added, right? Yes, is added. Yes, added. So what is the net EMF? Let's call E. It will be what? Like let's call E dash E plus E plus E. It goes on, right? Right. We have how many cells? N number of cells. So directly what will say? N times of this net potential, right? Net EMF of the cells. Okay. Now let's find net internal resistance. We have to find net so okay, let's write net. Okay. So what is net internal resistance? Look here. Small r, small r, small r. We have these all resistance connected in series. So R plus R plus R. How many times? N times. So directly what do you say? N into R. This is the internal only. Then what is the total resistance? Total resistance of the circuit is what, right? These resistances and that external resistance are all are connected in series. This is one loop. So what is net resistance? N R plus what? Capital R. This is a net resistance. Okay. Now watch carefully, we want to find current. So what is the current flowing through circuit? Net EMF, which is what here? N into what? E. Net resistance, which is what? N R plus what? R. This is called what? Your current. If some n number of cells are of like same capacity, like same type of cells are connected in series, okay, to an external resistance R, then what is the current flowing in the circuit? N E upon N R plus what? R. Correct? This is a general formula. You have to remember also, you have to understand also. Suppose you put some special conditions here, correct? You want to know that when the current is maximum, when the current is what? Minimum, right? Suppose, look here, this external resistance is what? Very, very small. External resistance is what? Very, very small. Then you make R 0. Then R is 0. Answer becomes E by what? Small r. N and get cancelled. Or you say that this is very, very big. This resistance infinite. Infinite means this infinite plus something is what? Infinite. So no current flows, right? Okay. So this is a current flowing in what? Series. Okay. Remember this. Now same way we will find current in parallel. Then we will find both together. Series and parallel all combined, right? Okay. Okay. So already we got this, that if you are in series, first case, then your current was coming to what? I is equal to what? N E and into resistance into what? R, right? Okay. Let's talk few more point about this. So I am saying that suppose you have new cells with you, okay? New cells. If cells are new cell, what's the meaning of that? Your internal resistance is what? Very low, or you say ideal cell, then you say what? 0. New cell means this small r is what? Nearly equal to what? 0. Internal resistance is what? 0 when you buy the new cell. In that case, what's the current? So this term becomes 0, then you get what? Maximum current, I max. How much? N into E upon what? R. So if you either you say new cells you have, or you have such that like the external resistance is what? Bigger than internal resistance. In that case, you should connect them in series to get what? Maximum current. Suppose you have all used cell, okay? Used cell or all cells where your R is what? Very, very big, okay? R is very big. So you say N R, this term is very, very big than R, right? Then R you neglect, what is the current in that case? Simply E by what? R. This will be a small current, right? Okay. Now we move to second topic, that's called cells in what? Parallel. Okay, before this I forget a small thing. A graph I should draw for what? Discharge of the cell. Actually I am teaching series and parallel. Before that we have learned like your cell you discharging or what charging case. So when you are discharging a cell, then you have to draw graph there. This topic will draw this graph, discharge of cell, the previous topic. Okay. So if you draw a graph between what? Let me draw once more. This is what your cell EMF internal resistance, and this is what your external resistance. Okay, R. Here you are getting potential difference of V. Equation was V is equal to E minus what? IR. Let me write here also. So equation is what? V is equal to E minus IR. This graph was asked in our exam also, so I am drawing it. If you draw a graph between the potential difference across this guy and the resistance of that guy, okay, this one. Suppose they say that I keep increasing, initial suppose resistance is there, small resistance, okay. Now you keep increasing that resistance, then what happened to potential? Initially what happens, look here, you say V is also equal to IR, and I is what? You say E upon R plus R, right? So V is equal to what? E upon R plus R into what? R. Watch carefully. So no, correct only, okay. So we want to find how V and R varies, okay. Yes, initially what happens when you increasing R, current will grow. Yes, current is what? IR, right? But what happens later when you are using a cell, your internal resistance also grows. So at some point these two terms becomes what? Zero, equal, like EMF is equal to IR become zero, the terminal potential becomes what? Zero. We finding the potential across this resistance. You have a resistance R, and you want to know how the potential across this resistance will vary with what? When you are increasing that resistance R. So what I will do, initially the potential will increase, then it becomes what? Constant. After that the potential across that guy will not increase at all, correct? Okay, so this graph you can draw in the charging case, sorry, discharging case. So I am drawing now second case of cells, that's called cells in parallel. Also if somebody say like ideal cell, somebody use ideal cell word, ideal cell, what's the meaning of this? Your internal resistance is what? Zero. That's your ideal cell, new cell, right? Okay. We are talking cells in parallel. Series already we connected, we found current series. Same way, let's connect cells in parallel. So this is one cell of EMF E, internal resistance R. You have another cell. Similarly, you have many cells, right? How many cells? M number of cells are connected in parallel, and they all are connected towards some external resistance. We calling that what again? Capital R. We want to know what is the potential difference and what is the current flowing. So look here, cells are connected in parallel now. Watch carefully. How many cells? M number of cells, correct? We want to find what is the current flowing now. So again same procedure, you have to find net EMF. So first thing, you're finding net EMF. So you know that in parallel the potential remains same, right now. So any number of cells you connect in parallel, the total potential will be equal to what? Any one cell. Yes, we connect in similar cell again, given it means identical cell. That will do special questions where cell will be what? Of like a different value. This is E1 value, that's E2 value, then what will do, okay. Okay, net EMF is what? EMF of any cell, right? Any one cell. So EMF E dash is what? Simply E only. You connect 2 cells or 100 cells in parallel of same EMF, the net EMF will be E only, okay. They will not increase EMF. So when you connect cells in parallel, what happens? Only the area is increased, area of the plates is increased, not potential, okay. Yes. Okay, what is the internal resistance? Internal resistance, total resistance, how much? Look here, R, these number of resistance is connected in what? Parallel. How many cells we have? M number of cells. So total internal resistance simply becomes what? R by M. Hope you are understanding directly. N number of cells connected in parallel, what is the answer? R by M, right? M number of cells of each internal resistance are connected in parallel, what is the answer? R by M. What is total internal resistance? Total resistance, watch it. These you have solved. Now this and this, they will be again in what series, right? So total resistance become R by M plus what, small r. Then now you want to find current. So this is your answer. Current will be EMF is E, resistance is R by M plus small r. You can simplify this. M, you multiply M into E upon R into M into R. This is what your current flowing through the circuit. When what cells, M number of cells of each EMF E and internal resistance small r connected in what, parallel, then this is the current flowing. Now suppose you write same idea. How? You say that if new cells you have, new cells means your R is what, 0, okay, R 0 you make, then what is the answer? Current coming, current comes what, look what answer, M by E, M R, right? So it becomes E by R. This is very small current actually. Now look at old cell, used cell, means you saying that your resistance, which resistance, R is much greater than what, your M into R. In that case, you neglect suppose this term, what term, MR term. R is very big, then your current becomes now M into E upon what, small r. Correct? Yes. Correct. This is a big current. So understand that suppose you have new cells with you and you want to get maximum current, you should connect them into what, series. Or you have old cell with you and you want to get maximum current, then you should connect them into what, parallel. So remember this trick, that what, new cell and you want I maximum, then how to connect them? Connect them in what, series, to get maximum current at that condition. Your old cells, you want to get I maximum, then connect them into what, parallel. You will get your maximum current. Okay. So now what we can do, this is what, series parallel. You can do both also together. Okay, I am doing in short. Let's do series and parallel. Okay. Suppose cells are connected in series also, in parallel also, then what will do? Okay. So this is some number of cells, n number of cells of each EMF R and resistance connected what, in series. And similar we have many branches again. Okay. Suppose we, how many branches we have? M branches. So watch carefully. We are learning series and parallel both together. So what will happen? N number of cells connected in each branch, right? And we have how many branches in parallel? M number of branches, right? Yes. Correct. Then what is the current flowing in the circuit now? Yes. Here an additional question they ask, first important question, that how many cells? Total number of cells is what? Total number of cells in this combination. What is the answer? One branch has n number of cells, and how many branches we have like this? M branches. What's total number of cells? N into what? M, right? Like 10 cells in each branch, then how many branches we have? Multiply. This is the total number of the cells, right? Now same, we were interested in calculating current only. Okay. So let's calculate. First calculate net EMF. What is net? Okay. What is net EMF? What is EMF of one branch? They are connected in series. How many cells? N cells, like series already you done. So what is the answer? N into E. Now many parallel branches, but EMF remains what? Same only. So what is net EMF? N into what? E only. This is net EMF. This is EMF actually of one branch, and same all branches we have M branches, but EMF is remains same in parallel, right? Okay. Internal resistance is what? Internal resistance. So watch carefully. Already we calculated series, one branch means what is the answer? Like R, all are connected in series. Net resistance become n, small n into what? Small r, right? NR. Now NR we have how many branches in parallel? M branches. So what is net resistance? N into R by what? M. NR is the internal resistance of one branch, and similar we have M branches in what? Parallel. So net resistance become NR by N. So what is total resistance now? Watch carefully. Total resistance of this whole circuit. So these we have solved this. Now this one resistance only this much. This is in series with what? R. So net resistance NR by M plus what? Capital R. Correct. So this is your current flowing the circuit. Now current will be net EMF is what? N into E divided by NR by M plus R. You can little simplify this, multiply m here, take it up. So n into m into E by n into R, m into R. That's what your current through the circuit in case of we have series and parallel both combinations together, right? Okay. So how they are asking questions, they ask direct current also, and then they ask some like combination of cells. This concept we'll use. Okay. So I'll give numerical example. Let me finish these things first. Okay. So this was series parallel I have done. Now what we do is like power also you can discuss here. Yes, let's discuss power here. So series parallel I have done. Cells connected in series, you solving step by step, you find net EMF, net resistance, then you find what current, then you can put conditions if you want that when the current will maximum, when current is minimum. So I told you that if cells are new, means the internal resistance is very small, then you should connect them in series to get what current maximum. Or you have old cells where the internal resistance is very big, then you should connect them into parallel to get what maximum current. Okay, yes, okay. Now let's see power concept. Okay, power. So basics of power, you know, yes, the rate of doing work, rate of spend of energy, these all are called what? Power, right now. So how you can say, simple way, rate of energy spent, or you can say rate of doing work. These are simplest definitions, you already know them, right? At what rate the energy is spent, that's called what? Power. So here we write in this, here we write Joule's law, correct? Joule's law, right, of heating. So power you can write many way. So you can write I square R into T, you can write V square R into T, or you can write simply VI into what? T, correct? So I did a small mistake here. Let me write power here first. I should not say power here. So power you can write I square R, that's your power, V square by R, that's your power, and what? V into I, these are powers. I should write here heat actually. Joule's, let me write Joule's law of heating. Heat I am writing energy. What is energy? So because power is what? Rate of energy, means energy by time. Here we are interested in calculating power, means these are the formulas already know, I square R, V square R, VI, these are the power. Okay, power into time, that's called what? Your energy or what? Your heat. So they will call your heat only, heat produced, heat generated. So just multiply time with all. So these are what? Heat. Okay, energy, I square RT, V square by RT, and VI into T. So some direct question they ask here, simple question we will do example. Okay, apart from this I will tell you some special shortcuts also here. Okay, here one thing we have to do, that they ask something called maximum power through a circuit. Okay, so let's write that point. Formula is this much only we have, max. Okay, before that I want to tell you what's units also. Power unit, you know. Okay, what is SI unit of power? Yes, everybody knows watt, correct? And energy you have learned in all chapter, we call it what? Joule, right? People confuse, but generally this energy, joule is unit is there, SI unit, but practical unit is what? Actually kWh, kilowatt hour. So what is practical unit of this energy that we will use generally in this chapter? What? kWh, kW, kilowatt hour. And what's the relations? That 1 kWh, look here, kilo means what? Kilo, 1000. Watt means what? Your power. Hour means what? Time. So power into time, that's called energy only. So kWh is unit of what? Energy, not power. Do not confuse. Okay. Power means they can ask like 1 HP. 1 HP everybody knows what? 746 watt. We have learned, right? This relation they can ask you. Okay. So if they are talking power, generally they will give in HP. When they are talking energy, they will give general in terms of kWh. What is kilo? So let's convert this into joule. Kilo means what? 10 power 3. Hour. Hour means what? 60 into 60. So this actually comes 3.6 into 10 power what? 6 joules. So 1 kWh is what? This much if you need to convert. Okay. So here I am writing a small topic that's called maximum power transfer theorem. Let's talk about that. This theorem tells you that when this power that transferred through a circuit or power consumed by circuit will be the maximum, under what condition. So here we use basic mathematics, a maximum minima principle we use. Okay, so circuit remains same only. Let me draw again same circuit. This is external resistance R is connected to some cell, and okay, cell has EMF E, internal resistance R. Right now some current I is flowing here. So what is current I flowing here? Obviously current will be what is current, what is net EMF E, okay, E, and what is the current here, what is the resistance here, R plus what, this is your current, right? So we are trying to calculate what is the power consumed by this resistance. Power is what, I square R, yes. So power consumed is what, I square R, yes, I square R. So I square means square of this, E square upon R plus R square into what, R. This is your power. So now we are interested in knowing that when this power will be maximum. We want to get a condition, want to get a relation between this internal resistance and external resistance, so that power is what, maximum. So what rule we will use? Already I taught you nicely that whenever you want to find maximum or minimum thing in physics, what you do, you differentiate and equate that quantity towards 0. Okay, you differentiate one time and equate towards 0, you will get the condition, correct na? Then you want to know whether it's maximum or minimum, you double differentiate and see the whether positive answer, then is what, minimum, negative answer, then is what, maximum, right? So what we want to know, just condition here. So what you will do for maximum power, okay, you want to get conditions, what will write, dP, who is a variable here, external resistance, okay, this will be varying, dr should be what, 0, correct. So we differentiate and equate this term towards 0. So look here, let's differentiate, watch carefully, E square is a constant, take it outside. Now you got d by dr of what, R upon R plus R square. This is differentiation of what, like, and equal to what, 0. E u by v, this is differentiation of what, u by v. So hope you remember this formula. If somewhere d by dx of u by v coming, then what is the formula, correct? So formula like this way, if you remember that, it becomes like u into dv by dx minus v into du by dx by v square all, right? This is the formula. So that formula I am writing here, watch carefully. So let's see, E square I sent on other side became 0, okay. So what I am getting, let's see, v first, okay. So R I am keeping R only, differentiation of this term, that becomes 2 times of R plus R minus this term R plus R square, and differentiation of R becomes what, 1 divided by square of this term R plus R power 4. This is all equal to what, 0. This term comes here and become what, 0. So let's solve this part. What you got, 2R square plus 2R into R minus, let's open this bracket, becomes R square minus 2R into R, right? All equal to what, 0. So this term get cancelled here, correct. So 2R square minus R square, so getting R is equal to what, simply R. This is the condition at which your circuit will transfer maximum power, right? Or you can say maximum current also is okay. So suppose you want to draw a circuit, okay, this is what condition, you understood? So please write in words carefully that when the total internal resistance is equal to total external resistance, then the circuit will transfer what, maximum power. Here I give example of one battery only, there may be 10 batteries. You calculate total internal resistance, there may be 2 resistance, 3 resistance externally. You calculate total external resistance. If total internal is equal to total external, then the circuit will transfer what, maximum power. So write in words carefully here what, when the total internal resistance is equal to total external resistance of the circuit, then circuit will transfer maximum power, okay, yes. You want to draw a graph between what, power versus R, okay. How the graph will look? It will look like that way. This is the graph. This is the maximum power, yes, P is maximum. So you see, when external resistance increasing, first the power will increase, it become maximum, then if you increase external resistance, your power will decrease. So at this condition, you getting maximum power P max, right? So this is called R is equal to what R, okay, at this condition. If you want to calculate what is P max, what is maximum power transfer, then look at general formula again, this formula only. Instead of R, you put what? Capital R here. You put here what you get? E square R. You putting here what? Capital R. It become 2R and square. So 4R square. 1R get cancelled. So what is maximum power that circuit can transfer? E square upon what? 4R. Correct. Okay, I am talking small shortcuts about what power concept. Okay. So one question they ask like some bulbs will be connected in series and parallel, then they'll ask you like which bulb glows more brighter or it shine more than what other, okay. Based on their power ratings we have to answer. So look here, suppose first I say like this shortcut that bulbs in what? In series. Bulbs in series. Look here, we have learned resistance in series parallel, then we have learned this what? Sales in series and parallel. Now we're talking like bulb. Bulb means we're talking about power. Okay. So look here. When some bulbs are connected in series, how they look like that? There's a bulb 1, there's a bulb 2, any number of bulbs connected in what? In series to some source of potential V. This a bulb. This bulb has a power P1, this has P2. Okay. They're consuming what? P1, P2, this power. So you see that in series current flowing is same. Right. So first they will ask you a question that what is net power? Net power consumed. What is the answer? In series, look here. If you watch carefully, power is what? I square R, V square R. Okay. In series current flowing is what? Same. In current flowing is what? Same. So net power consumed, if you want write, how you will write? You know that current is same. Yes, current say potential is divided. Yes, V1, V2 here. So this total potential V is equal to V1 plus V2. Then now V1 you can write in terms of what? Power, because current flowing is same. So how it answer comes, if you want to add the net power consumed in series, is simply inverse addition. P series is equal to what? P1 plus P2, like this one. If you want to add the total power in case of what? Series, then it will look like this way, okay. If you have just two bulbs, then power series will be just like P1, P2 upon what? P1 plus P2. So net power is what? Reduced when you connect some bulbs in what? Series, keep in mind, okay. So one question is what about net power they will ask you. Then next question they will ask you that who will shine more brighter? Some power of rating. Look, there are two words. One is called power consumed, how much really they are consuming, and one is called power rating. Rating means what is written on them, that what is the power rating they needed. Rating is already written on that bulb, and consumed means how much really they are consuming. So they ask this question, brightness. If they ask question brightness, or they say who shine more, right now. So remember that brightness is directly proportional to what? Power consumed. Brightness is directly proportional to what? Always power consumed. So if you talk in series, then look what is power consumed is I square R. I is same. In series current flowing is same through all people, right? Power is directly proportional to what? Resistance. So if you know resistance of the bulbs, that is say one bulb of 50 ohm, other bulb is what? 60 ohm. Who will shine more bright? Obviously what is the answer? The higher resistance, more power consumed, more what? Brightness. Okay. So I am writing here again, your brightness will be in series. In case of series, brightness in series, let me write in series, will be directly proportional to what? Resistance of the bulb, right? Or inversely proportional to what? Power rating. Also do not confuse once more between power consumed and power rating. Power rating will be given to you. This is 60 watt bulb, this is what? 100 watt bulb, and connected in series, who will glow more bright? What is the answer? Less the power rating, more it will glow. Okay. So remember this properly, power rating. So or you can say less wattage. So okay, less wattage, what? More bright. This happens in what? Series. Okay. Yes. Now if you talk parallel, it will be just opposite of this. Let's start bulbs in what? Parallel. Okay. Same bulbs, if I connect in parallel, this is a bulb B1 of power P1 and this is another bulb P2 power, okay. They are connected to some source of voltage V and some current is flowing here, here I1, here I2. So what is net power consumed? Net power. What is the answer? Simply P parallel we're talking, so simply addition of them, P1 plus P2 plus P3, it goes on. Simple addition of them, that's what your total power. So your power consumed will be higher, obviously, right? Yes. Then they ask you brightness. So this rule remains same, brightness is proportional to power consumed. So here, because let's write this formula, power is what? P square by R. Potential is same, parallel potential is what? Same. So inversely proportional to what? Resistance here. So remember here, if they ask brightness in what? Parallel. I said who bright shines more? Brightness in parallel. Remember this is inversely proportional to resistance or directly proportional to what? Power rating. Yes, inversely proportional to resistance, small the resistance, more it will glow. Or higher the power rating, voltage is given, this is 100 watt bulb, this is 200 watt bulb, then 200 watt bulb will glow more. In this case 100 and 200, then 100 watt bulb will glow more. Okay, yes. Okay, apart from these, some more shortcuts. Look here, this question. They ask question like this way. You can solve them also, but I am telling directly shortcut. They ask that I have a heater coil, okay, and then I have two heater coils, suppose, and first I connect them in series, and in the given time they will produce some heat, okay. Suppose 10 joule heat is produced. Then same I connect same two these coils I connect in what? Parallel. I wait for the same time, they will produce some another heat, okay. Yes. Then what's the relation between these two? Okay, that you have to remember, because generally any one combination will be given to you, like two resistors are connected in series, in 10 minutes they are producing this much heat. Then how much heat will produce when they are connected in what? Parallel for the given time. So let me write few words also. If two heating rod, let's call them heating rod or resistance heating rods, are connected in series and they produces what? Heat, let's call HS, heat in series for a given time, okay, some time. If same rods are connected in parallel, if same rod now we connect in parallel, then what will happen for the given same time, then for then in same time they will produce, how much they will produce? 4 times more heat than what? Series. Please read it carefully. When you connect series parallel, the heat produced will be what? 4 times more than what in parallel combination. Or you want to write formula, then you can write heat produced in parallel is actually 4 times of heat produced in series for the same time, same rods. Two rods you have connected first in series, they are producing some heat. Same rods first series, okay, then you connect them into parallel for the given time, same time should be same, then they will produce what? 4 times heat more than what? In series. HP by HS is equal to what? 4. This is one important, okay, correct. Then same question how they ask, like in terms of time they ask that I have two separate heating rod with me. One rod, when I connect it take T1 time to heat some amount of some water, let's say, and another rod take what? T2 time to heat the same water, okay. If I connect these two rods together either in series or are in parallel, then how much time they will take, okay. This question also very interesting. So look here, if a rod takes T1 time to time to heat given or to produce, you say, to produce given, once writing given some amount of heat, okay, no, I should not say like this one. Actually, how they asking, let me write directly how they ask in exam, same way. You want to heat some amount of liquid, okay. So if a rod takes T1 time to heat some amount of water by some to some temperature, right now, and another rod you have, another rod takes T2 time to heat same water, okay, correct na, towards same temperature. Suppose you want to heat your water from 20 degree to 50 degree, okay, some a given bucket of water, 10 liter bucket. Suppose one rod take T1 time and another rod you have which take T2 time. Now these two rods I put in combination series and parallel, then how much time they will take, okay. Yes. Now what happening, watch carefully. If same two rods are combined in series, if these two rods I put together, then the time taken to heat same water by same temperature will be, how much time will take now? So what is the answer, people? T1, T total will be equal to what? T1 plus T2. It will take even more time to heat what? The water. So it's not good actually, right? Yeah. One rod taking T1 time like 10 minutes, another rod take what? 15 minutes. If put these two rods together in what series, they will take what? More time. They will take 10 plus 15 minutes, 25 minutes they will take. So it's not good. Yes. But if you do in parallel, same thing. If same rods are connected, how? In parallel, right? Then how much to heat the same amount of water by same temperature, how much time will take? Then time will be what? 1 by T will be like 1 by T1 plus 1 by 2. Now they will take less time. The time will be what? T1 T2 upon what? T1 plus T2. Here the time will be reduced. They will take less time too. Like one rod is taking 10 minutes, other rod is taking 15 minutes individually. If you connect in series, they will take 25 minutes. But in parallel it will be what? Less than what? Even 10 minutes. Okay. So parallel will be good method. So these are some shortcuts which will help you. Hope you understood them. Okay. So this topic is done now completely what? Your sales, right? And power also, right? Now we'll do numericals on these. Okay. Okay. They're saying 6 cell of each EMF 2 volt and internal resistance 0.5 ohm are being charged by a battery of voltage 220. So it's a charging case given first. Okay, focus here, charging. By using an external resistance of 10 ohm, find the charging current. So you have cells, some cells are there, internal resistance and battery given, and they are getting charged by a big battery with help of an external resistance that's given 10 ohm, that's given 220 volt, and these are given 2 volt, and internal resistance given 0.5. You have such 6 cells. Okay, they are asking what is the current flowing through the circuit. Okay, you can solve directly also, you can apply Kirchhoff law also. How? Let's solve first by directly. Look, what is current? Net potential by what? Total resistance. What is the net potential? 220 you are supplying, and the cells are getting charged, so they will consume some potential. How much? 2 is volt is for each, and we have 6 cells, so 2 into 6 means what? 12 volt. That's the potential these cells are consuming. So what is the net potential? 220 minus 12. Correct? It's a charging case, so they will consume what? Potential. Okay. What is total resistance? Each cell has internal resistance of 0.5. We have 6 cells, so that becomes what? 3 ohm. 0.5 into 6. Okay. Then series is what? 10 ohm. So what is the net resistance? 13. 208 by 13. So this should be how much? 16 around. So around 16 ampere approximately. Okay. Yes. Okay. If calculation wrong, please tell me. Okay. Let's see next question. The EMF of a cell is given 6 volt. When it is connected to an external resistance of 2 ohm, it has terminal potential of 5 volt. Find the internal resistance of the cell. Internal resistance in terms of potential and what EMF is what? E upon V minus 1 into R. Correct. Suppose these three values are given, so you can use this formula. Otherwise, you write general formula V is equal to what? E minus what? IR, and calculate from here. So look here, what is given here? EMF given 6, potential given 5 minus 1, external resistance given 2 ohm. 2. So this becomes what? 1.2 minus 1 is 0.2 into what? 2. What is the answer? 0.4 ohm. Done? Okay. Next question. It says that n rows are there of each containing n cells. N number of rows are given and each has what? M number of cells joined in parallel. Maximum current is drawn to a 3 ohm resistance. Total number of cells is given 24. Internal resistance of each cell is given 0.5. Find the value of M and N. Very nice question. So watch carefully. You have n number of cells in series in each row, and how many rows you have? N number of rows. So what is total number of cell given to you? Obviously total number of cell is what? M into N. Let's call your total number of cells. Yes, M are the number of cells in one line. Okay, and how many lines we have? N lines. So total number of cell will be multiplication of them, right? So one equation we know. We want to find M and N, so we need one more equation. Look, this said something very important. Maximum current is drawn. Maximum power, maximum current are same thing only. So already I told you maximum power transfer theorem. We know that power is transferred maximum when total internal resistance is equal to total external resistance. So same for what? Current also. So if they saying maximum current drawn means it is guaranteed that the total internal resistance is equal to total external resistance. So in this question they said about I max. I max means what? Total internal is equal to what? Total external. This condition should be satisfied, because when current is maximum, then only power is what? Maximum. What is total external resistance? Given to you, R given what? 3 ohm. What is total internal resistance? Watch carefully. M number of cells in series. In one line, how many cells we have? N. If each resistance, how much? 0.5. So what is total resistance of each branch? 0.5 times of M. Clear? M number of cells in series. All resistance are added at 0.5 plus 0.5. How many times? M times. Now, these cells, how many rows are there? N rows. So like 0.5 M, 0.5 M, these all are connected in parallel. How many times? N times. So total internal becomes what? N. This I explained with series and parallel combinations of cells right now. Total internal resistance. Now this condition we can apply that total internal should be equal to what? Total external to get what? Maximum current. It means 3 should be equal to 0.5 times M by N. 0.5 should be equal to 3N. Sorry, here right? M is equal to what? 3N. So M should be equal to what? 6 times of what? N. This is your second equation. So you can use these two equations to answer now. You replace any value here. M is what? 6N. You're replacing here. So 6N into N is equal to 24. 6 goes 4 times N square is what? 4. N becomes what? 2. Again from here to N is 2. Then N becomes what? 12. N you putting here, right? So 12 into 2 is 24 only? Yes. So it means what? Each row has 12 number of cells in series and we have 2 rows similar, right? 12 cells. Correct? Okay. Let's see next question. When a resistance of 2 ohm is connected across the terminal of a cell, the current drawn is given 0.5 ampere. When you connect this external resistance, current drawn is given. When the resistance is increased to 5 ohm, the current becomes what? 0.25 ampere. Resistance is changing external, current also changing the same. What's the EMF of the cell? What's the internal resistance of the cell? These questions they will ask you, okay? So it's a discharge case. Obviously, what's the equation of discharge? V is equal to what? E minus what? IR, right? This is the main equation. Now we don't know terminal potential. They have given us what? external resistance and current flowing. We also know that V is equal to what? IR, right? When discharge case. So instead of V you can put that value, so you can write IR is equal to E minus what? IR. Now all are known to us. Two cases are given, first case, second case. Let's put the value. Okay, first resistance 2 ohm, then current flowing is how much? 0.5. So 0.5 into 2 is equal to E minus 0.5 into R. Or you can write this as 1 is equal to E minus 0.5 R. This is equation 1. Okay, second case, what is resistance given? 5 ohm, current becomes 0.25. So same equation writing, 0.25 into 5 is equal to E minus 0.25 into R. So this becomes how much? 1.25 is equal to E minus 0.25 R, equation 2. They are asking us to find the EMF, so you have to cancel internal resistance. If they ask internal resistance, you can also answer, no problem. So we have to cancel R, so obviously we have to multiply this equation by 2. So this equation I am giving same only, 1 is equal to E minus 0.5 R. This I am multiplying by what? 2, that becomes 2.5 is equal to 2E minus 0.5 of R minus minus plus, this goes. Minus 1.5 is equal to what? Minus E, or E is equal to what? 1.5 volt. That's your answer. Same way you can calculate for what? Internal resistance also, okay? Yes. So this is a discharge case, you may be having a charging case also, right? Okay. Let's see some more questions based on power. Okay, few more problems you're doing. So let's see. Question number 5. EMF of a cell is given 2 volt. It is shorted. When it is shorted, short circuit, right? It gives a current of 4 ampere. Find its internal resistance. Okay, you have a cell like this. EMF E internal R, and you are shorted means you have connected wire across it of 0 resistance, right? This is called short circuit. Suppose your resistance there of 0 value. What is the current? Obviously E upon like R plus R. This is a total current. But here R is what? 0. Short circuit means current is what? 0. Means what is the current? E by R. E given to you. How much given? 2 volt. Resistance given internal as no. Here current is given as 4 ampere. They are asking what is the internal resistance. So that's your answer. 2 by 4 means 0.5 ampere. Sorry, ohm. Okay, short circuit. Look at next question. Now these are power questions. So a heater coil is rating is given 100 watt and 200 volt. Okay, it is cut into 2 equal identical parts. Okay, and both parts are joined in parallel to a same source of 200 volt. Find power consumed now. What you had? You had a coil. You have a resistance R. Okay. This you cut into 2 pieces, and these 2 pieces are joined now in parallel. Okay. So let's calculate first what's the resistance of this piece. Okay. So look, power given, voltage given. So power is what? V square by R, right? You can find resistance of this coil. Resistance will be V square upon P. Voltage given 200 into 200, and power is given what? 100. 400 ohm is the resistance of this your coil, right? Now I cut into 2 equal pieces. 2 equal pieces, resistance will also get divided equally, and I join them in parallel. Same thing is now cut into 2 pieces and joined in parallel like this one. This become R by 2, R by 2. Yes, R resistance was coil there. You cut into 2 pieces, each piece has resistance half of R by 2, R by 2. So what is the net resistance? R net. 2 resistance in parallel becomes what? R by 4, right? 2 equal resistance, R by 2, R by 2 in parallel. What is the answer? R by 4. R by 4 means R we calculated 400. 400 by 4 means what is the new resistance of this combination? 100 ohm. The connected to what? This much power as a voltage supply. Sorry, they are asking what is power consumed. So same formula again. Power is equal to V square by what? R. Voltage 200 into 200, and power resistance what? 100. 400 watt power it will consume, right? Initially it was coil, it consume what? 100 watt only, but you cut into 2 pieces and these 2 pieces are joined in parallel, then it will consume more power of what? 400 watt. Yes, you know that in parallel power consumed is always more. Okay, done. Move to next question. 3 bulbs, 60 watt, 120 volt capacity given, rating given are connected as shown in the figure like this way. Find the total power delivered. You can use shortcut also, I told you. Look here, this is all are given same power, P, P and P. Correct. Find the net power. These two are in what? Parallel. Parallel means power is what added. P plus P becomes 2P. Now this 2P and P are what in series. So 2P and P are in series means this is a formula, net P, right? So it becomes 2 by 3 of the P. Correct. 2 by 3 of P means how much P given? 60 watt of each. This becomes what? 40 watt directly. You can do like this also shortcut. Or another way is what? You find resistance. Power and voltage given, resistance of this will be same all. You find any one R. Like you can find resistance R. Then you can solve this net resistance. Then you know voltage supply, you know net resistance. Again you can find power. You will get same answer. Okay, let's see. In the given circuit, power dissipated in 6 ohm is 6 watt. This is a circuit. Find the value of resistance R. So look, 12 volt battery given, positive negative terminal. This resistance R unknown, this is 8 ohm, this is 6 ohm. Here power consumed given what? 6 watt. They are asking what is the resistance R. To find resistance R, we need voltage here, we need current here, right? Obviously. So let's see, solve this part. In this, we know power here, we know resistance here, we can find here voltage drop and what? Current flowing, right? Power you want is what? V into I, right? So I is what? P by V. 6 watt by 6 ohm is 1 ampere. So current flowing this branch is how much? 1 ampere. This is coming from here, right? Let's call I1 and I2. It joined here becomes what? 1 ampere. What is voltage drop here? Again power is what? V square. You know resistance, anything you can write. Okay, voltage also you know. Okay, so or write more simple, easy formula. I wrote something wrong here. Yes, I wrote little wrong because current I know power and I know resistance actually. So I should write power is equal to V square by R first. Okay. Yes, because okay, correct only. So let's find V square is what? P into R. I know power and resistance. I know 6 into 6, that becomes 36. So voltage coming what? 6 volt. So voltage consumed at this point is how much volt by this guy? 6 volt, keep in mind. What is current? Power is what? V into I. So I is equal to P by V only. Power is 6, voltage also 6, so it's coming 1 ampere. That's okay, 1 ampere. Okay, done. Now give attention. 12 volt battery is there, right? 6 volt is consumed by this resistance. So obviously remaining voltage is consumed by 6. How much? 6 volt only, right? Yes, this and this. So 12 volt battery, 6 volt is consumed here. So 6 volt will go to what? Here. Now 6 volt across 8 ohm also, 6 volt across what? This, your R also, right now. Yes, both will have 6 volt. So here in this resistance, we know what? Resistance, and we know what? Voltage also. You can find current. We know that V is equal to IR, right? So current, we calling it I2. What is the current in this branch? So V by what? R. Voltage is what? 6. Resistance what? 8. Correct. Okay, this much ampere only, let's say. Now listen carefully. What's the current in this branch? We can calculate. Why? Because net current here is what? 1 ampere, right? Which is this plus that. So 1 is equal to what? 6 by 8 plus what? That I1. Okay. So I1 is what? 1 minus 6 by 8. You say what? 2 by what? 8, or you say 1 by 4 ampere. This is the current in this branch. Current we know, voltage drop is 6 volt here. So now resistance is what? V by I. Voltage here is what? 6 volt. Yes. Current is what? 1 by 4 means 24 ohm. That's your answer. So this is the resistance of what? 24 ohm. Clear? Okay. One last question. At 25 watt, 200 volt and 100 watt at 200 volt, two bulbs are given connected in series to a source of voltage what? 400 volt. Which bulb will fuse? Look here, two bulbs are given. This is a bulb 1, this is a bulb 2. Let's give name B1 and B2, connected to a source of voltage what? 400. They are asking which bulb will fuse. The bulb will fuse if the power coming is more than the rating of that bulb. Rating of bulb, one is given 25 watt, it can take. Other is given what? 100 watt, it can take. If suppose input power is coming more than the rating, then that bulb will fuse. So you have to calculate how much power is generated by this battery. Okay. So for that, what we need to calculate first, look here, powers we know, so you can calculate resistance of each. This guy I am calling R1, this I am calling R2. So what is R1? I am writing same formula, power is what? V square by R. V square, voltage they consume 200, this is 200, and supply is given 400. I am not putting value, I am writing symbol only. Okay. Suppose this consumes V and this also consumes V, then supply is what? 2V, double of them is given, right? So resistance R1 is what? V square by what? How much power? 25. I am writing this one, power is what? V square by R. I want to calculate resistance, so V square by P. Similarly, what is R2? Again V square by what? 100. These two resistance connected in series, find the net resistance. Net resistance will be R1 plus R2, yes. So you add them, V square by 25 plus V square by 100. You take 100 LCM. 25 goes 4 times, this goes 5 times, so 5 into what? V square, right? 5 you can cancel here, becomes V square by what? 20. This is equation 1. This is what your net resistance. Net resistance, net voltage, let's find net current the circuit. That's what V by R. So net voltage is what? 400. So I am writing 2V because this 200 I wrote as V symbol. To make calculation simple, you can put here numerical value also if you confuse. So that becomes 2V by resistance here. V square by what? 20. 1 V get cancelled, 20 goes 40 by what? V. Correct, only a calculation doing. Here this is your resistance, V square by what? 40, 20 goes up. Okay, this is your current flowing. Current resistance so you can consider like how much power is coming really to this guy. What is P1? You can write I square into R. Okay, current is this much, so square of this but becomes 1600 by V square, right? And what is the resistance of this guy here? V square by what? 25. V square goes here. Okay, 25, let's guess 25, how many times it will go? 1600. So 25 goes what? 100 4 times. So 4 into what? 16. This much watt is coming. The input power coming to this bulb is how much? To 56 watt. But the rating of this bulb is what? Just 25 watt. It can wear what? 25 watt. Means this bulb will fuse. Right? Same way you can check for this bulb also. For second bulb, what happening? P2 is what? Same formula, I square R. Current is same only, 1600 by V square. This is the current square of this into what is the resistance of this guy? V square by what? 100. This get cancelled to 0, just coming 16 watt. How much power coming to this bulb? 16 watt. What's the rating? 100 watt, right? So this bulb will not fuse. So you want to check whether some bulb is getting fused or not. What you will do? You will check that how much power is coming to that bulb and how much rating given. If coming input power coming is more than what the rating, then that bulb will fuse. Okay. So you have done a lot of questions here. So now what you will do? You have to solve all the questions of exercise 1 till what this topic means the combination of cells and power. So I think it will be around 90 or 95 some questions. Okay, those questions you have to solve, and whatever doubt please mention in the comment. I will make solve those questions in what next video.